Hi muckers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing very well. Okay, I'm very excited for today's video, and this was really requested. So, as you know, a week or so ago, we made like 2 videos where we were talking about these new videos that Nikocado Avocado had made, where he was talking about his journey, I guess, and everything that has been happening and this social phenomenon that he's been a part of, and he was really exposing everything behind the scenes with it and his ultimate plan. People have let me know that there was one more video that I missed, and of course, I'm so deep in the Nikocado Avocado lore that it is my honor to go through this with you. But basically, he's responding to MeatCanyon's video and also talking more in depth about the behind the scenes of everything. And I don't know about you, but I'm very excited to jump into this because while I'm not that impressed by what Nikocado did, the way he's like acting like everyone should be so swooned that he lost all this weight and it was this big character, again, I've always said at the end of the day, it was the detriment of your health you were doing this. I mean, it's not really a gotcha moment, but I do find it fascinating. So let's dive into it. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you for being here. Tickets for the tour. I'm touring America, are down below. In February, I'm going to Brooklyn, Chicago, Seattle, LA, Dallas. Really excited to meet all the muckers. Tickets are on sale down below. If I'm not coming to your city, please let me know because, again, I can confirm that we are adding extra shows. Also, my second channel, I've randomly decided to start uploading every single day on. Again, it'll be linked down below. I'm actually going to be filming videos right after this, but let's get to the videos. So, it's called Reacting to Canyon? Canyon. I think I said Canon. My bad. My bad. Whoopsie. But anyways, we're going to watch this. He reacts and he also talks a little bit, like I said, more in depth about everything that is going on. But let's get to it.
And we're on a roll. This is my third video. Did you see the other two?
And we've been here for all of them. We've been barrier. You'll never not find me barrier for a Nikocado Avocado 3. This is his third channel. I'll always be barrier. And you'll be with me, holding my hand all the way through it.
Before this is part 3. We're going to be reacting to meat.
That, oh my god. First of all, that damn I identify as skinny shirt. You will never see him not wearing it. So, MeatCanyon is this channel that makes like these over-the-top characters, and they had made a bunch about Nikocado.
Who did Return of the King, because I am the mukbang king. I haven't quit mukbangs, really. I just got skinny so I can keep doing them. We identify as skinny. Thanks to everyone on my Instagram who suggested I react to him, as well as my Twitter. I have new Instagrams and new Twitters. I'm going to link them in the description if you want to follow me there. This is going to be exciting because you guys know I reacted to the original King of Mukbang back in the day, and I kind of had a meltdown about it. It was really funny. People think that his animation of me, where, you know, I'm going to put a little thing here, that's what he drew me as, and people think that kind of inspired me to finally take control of my health. And
god, the MeatCanyon videos are brittle. Oh my god. Jesus. I'm pretty sure MeatCanyon made one of Colleen last summer as well. Am I correct? Let me fact check. Wait. Maybe I'm telling a little fib. I'm pretty sure I saw one because it was... Oh, sorry. Yeah. There was one.
Hey, it's been a while since you've last seen my face.
When I saw this for the first time.
I haven't been doing too well, so I took a break. A lot of people are saying things about...
The craziest thing is she would see this and be like flattered by the way they drew her.
and all this stuff. Now, I was always in control.
Don't a bunch of YouTubers come out in this? Oh my god! I forgot about this! I forgot about all the cancelled YouTubers. Logan Paul. Oh god. Shane Dawson. Jeffree. The Jeffree Star one is crazy. And James Charles.
Listen, Colleen, I've done some bad things too, but views are up, brand deals too. People forget it's just a thing of the past. Oh. I swear I've done nothing with those cats. Don't worry, time heals the soul. Your misdeeds will only get old. Rebuild yourself and hit the sack.
Just so brutal. Oh my god, there's more. Wait, oh my god, it's the one who did the dancing video with the allegations that she got. What's her name? And then David Dobrik wearing a construction. David Dobrik wearing a construction outfit like he would have on the excavator. Wow. Brutal.
And the plan was to do this from the very beginning. The video was brilliant. I loved it at the time. But I already knew what I was going to... Like, I remember turning off that camera when I reacted to it, and I was like, if only he knew what was coming. Like, it's funny because I met him in person shortly after, maybe 2 years after, and I didn't tell him, like, I'm going to lose the weight and tell people this was scripted.
Here's the craziest thing about him being like, was I going to let him in on the secret? His gotcha video that he posted like last week that we watched, he's showing all this footage of him over the years being like, well, I'm going to lose all the weight. I'm going to lose all the weight. So I'm like, people just didn't believe you, but you were telling them, you know what I mean? Like it was a shock in that you did it, but like you were telling people you were going to do it. It wasn't this big secret.
Did and planned. I didn't even tell him. I'm just like, thanks for the animation. It was really cute, really cool. We filmed a mukbang together. And that's on this channel, which is why I decided to put this video on this channel, because his collab with me is already here. There's my... Oh, wow. That's me. Look at me, defeated. Pulling myself out from the slump. That's kind of like portraying how I portrayed myself on the internet, like so fat, can't bend over, can't move, can't fart. Like, I literally...
Sorry, these are so unbelievably shocking.
Here's my water weight. My arm. There it is, my real hands. I love how it's starting right where it left off. I don't know if you remember where it left off. I'll put a little thing here. That's where it left off from part 1 of his animation of me. Basically, I was eating myself in this weird universe where everything was dark and gloomy, and it was kind of reflective of me.
This is so fucking jarring.
Just rip it off. I wish it was so easy to just rip off the fat. I said in the other video, but I'll tell you guys here too, it took over 2 years. It was more like 2.5 years. Like I said, it was around 2 years. Well, actually, I said I hadn't filmed a YouTube video in 2 years. That wasn't quite accurate. I had like a year and a half or something, but I meant to say I've been doing this weight loss journey for over 2 years. It was closer to 2.5 years that I started it by the time I had revealed my weight. So I wish I was just ripping off the fat suit.
Okay, a little thing I want to say. I said this in my last nikocado video, but I always feel the need to do it. The way he talks about like losing the weight and stuff like this, like he is being so derogatory towards... He's being, like, it's interesting. He's being derogatory towards himself, right? Because he had gained all this weight. But it's a lot easier for Nikocado Avocado to lose all the weight because it was his genius plan, I guess. And the resources that he is a rich person. He's made so much money off of this alone. So he has the funds, the accessibility, and the everything to lose weight in a much easier way, not to discredit him, than the average person. So the way that he talks about how easy it was to lose the weight, even though it was 2 years, and less in this one, but the other video he's talking about, you know, I was able to gain it so I could just lose it. You know, that was my plan. And it paints this picture that all overweight people are just overweight because they eat so much. And that is not true. And that's my main issue I have with this, which is it came with a lot of people feeling shame for their weight because of the way he's speaking about himself, when in actuality, number one, it's much easier because he has so much more resources to lose weight because he is literally rich. And number two, first of all, and he also doesn't have like a regular day-to-day job where he was able to take 2 years off. Keep that in mind as well. And also just a lot of people are that weight for medical reasons as well. Just want to keep that in mind as well.
Oh man, those the man boobs. I didn't really get bad ones. They were never that bad. Epic! Boom! It's over, peasants.
Is he gonna put the panda mask on and go 2 steps ahead? I'm always.
And there I am. Okay, excuse me, 1 minute, 20 second. Why did he give me a vajayjay neck? Maybe it's to signify, like, droopy skin, like I've lost all the weight, but I don't like how I have vajayjay neck. You're supposed to make me look cute.
That's what he has a problem with?
It's like, you know, when your neck, it looks like a vajayjay. I don't know. Oh my gosh. And brighter days are ahead. You know what?
It looks really accurate. I don't know what he said.
My hairline. That's not my hairline. You forgot the epic widow's peak? How do you forget the widow's peak? How do you forget the McDonald's hairline? I mean, yeah, I shaved my head for dramatic effect, but you forgot the McDonald's hairline? That's like my iconic thing. Even when I shaved...
His iconic thing.
I know I shaved my head, but that was just for dramatic effect, and I'm kind of rocking the look with the beard. Very few guys have it, unless they have like receding, but no, I've always just had this... The McDonald's hairline, he gave me like this round looking thing.
That's what he has a problem with in this video?
Features, but that's a feature. He could have made the hairline down to here or something. That's like a big feature about me.
More importantly, we're talking about Nikocado Avocado losing 250 pounds. Today's gonna be a quick video. I just wanted to talk about this because I'm getting tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of comments about it on my cartoons, on my Papa Meat channel. Who knows? The biggest comments I'm getting are, "Bro, you got totally owned. This aged horribly." I think this was a cartoon that made him change his life.
Why do people say? Why would it age horribly? I mean,
But also, why is it on the rest of us that he lost the weight? I don't understand this. Like in every video of nikocado, now this phenomenon has came up and I've always talked about it. Like, why is it a gotcha moment to us that he gained all this weight, was miserable his entire 20s, and then lost the weight for his 30s? How is that a gotcha moment to us? I don't understand it.
he was just illustrating the moment. That was the moment. That was me. That is what I portrayed online for years. He was just illustrating it and maybe sensationalizing it, exaggerating it, but that's what his job is, you know?
I made a cartoon 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago, called King of Mukbang. And it was just about Nikocado, and the whole thing is that it's kind of a parallel on King Midas. And I would say people were saying that, like, I owned him. As if I'm, like, making fun of him for being fat, which, if you watch the video, I hope that that's not the case at all. If anything, it felt even self-reflective in a way of how I feel about my own weight. I think we've even said this before because we made a response video to his initial response to it because he made a video and it was really funny. But the whole idea is that it was supposed to be some...
Really? That's kind of shocking. I don't know if he's just saying that. I would have never thought that him making an exaggerated, sensationalized cartoon of me being fat.
So there we go. This is the problem that I have with nikocado avocado. What he is tossing off as a gotcha moment is things that people struggle with. Therefore, when you're trying to make fun of your past self, you are indirectly making fun of so many people. And I've read the comments of people that have been like genuinely affected by the way that Nick has handled this new era of his life and the way that he talks about people who were the same weight or even less than what he was at his peak. And that was the big problem I have with it. You know, it makes people feel shitty. He keeps saying that this was a big comedic bit and he wanted the people of the internet to have something to laugh at and all the rest. So in turn, it is this weird phenomenon where he deems that something the internet will find funny is a fat person eating. So when you then say that that was all a character, Like, I got accused of being fatphobic in my coverage of this for calling the issue out. I would say what nikocado was doing was fatphobic, and what he continues to do, if anything. And I always draw conclusions to, or parallels to, those documentaries where those people will, I've said this before, will eat a bunch of fast food and be like, let's see how much weight I can gain. And then I'm going to lose it all to show you how easy it is. But what you don't know is that I have an entire team of dietitians behind me and blah, 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 blah. Bullshit.
And everything I put out on the internet for all those years was him kind of thinking, like, this is what I think of me. He thought that he looked like me. That was self-reflective. Does he eat a lot of junk? Does he do private mukbangs? Does he have a mukbang channel? What? He's a bigger guy, but he wasn't he was like half my size. He's like a normal big guy. I was like borderline give me a wheelchair big guy.
The way that he put himself out there was rage baiting people. A lot of his content years ago, by this point now, was him saying like breaking up with his husband and all this kind of toxic stuff that he put out there. It was very rage bait kind of stuff. The idea that I had was just trying to put sympathy to it. I felt bad for Nick. And luckily, I got to meet him.
So again, I'm like, when he's starting all this drama with people and like what he's saying, rage bait, toxic content, was that part of the making people laugh online?
It was amazing. I was glad I got to meet him.
Look at that photo. Oh my god. I guess we do look like the same size. Oh, maybe it was. Has he lost weight too? He looks different. He literally looks like he's 50 pounds lighter. Basically, at the time I met him, I was already on my weight loss journey. I had already lost around 50 pounds or something. There were...
So again, all this terminology, when you're talking about someone who's saying that they were drawing conclusions with their own life about you, and you're saying it was just this funny bit, you know, because people will laugh at people like that. And you're like, oh, but I'd already lost so much weight by here, but we look the same in this. You know what I mean? I am nitpicking, but I'm nitpicking for the sake of I've read people having issues with this, and I understand it completely.
Some breaks in my weight loss journey where I took a month off, or I took a couple weeks off, and I filmed a lot of content. That interview in Texas was one of them. And I was also really swollen I was taking a steroid because I had a really bad cough the doctor gave me. I couldn't stop coughing. And I knew I had that big interview and I needed to not cough. And the side effect of that was kind of getting moon face and blowing up. So I had already lost like 40, 50 pounds or something at that moment. So I was at like, I went from like 400 down to like 350 something. You can't even really tell unless you really, but now that he mentions it being side by side, that guy's not 400 pounds. So clearly I was not 400 pounds there, but I literally have all my videos of me stepping on the scale, and I mean, I look a lot skinnier there if you think about it, especially the sides of my face. You can tell if you really scrutinize. But most people just wrote me off as like, oh, he's fat, you know?
I know that it's an act. I mean, it's rage bait. It's clip farming before clip farming, pretty much. I got to meet Nick, luckily, because he was doing stuff with Oompaville at the time, and I got to drive down and meet him. And it was like one of the only times in my life I've ever been starstruck by something. Let me give you a brief rundown of what it was like. I got to sit in Oompa's kitchen, and all of a sudden I heard the scraping of plastic wheels across the floor, and a rascal coming around the corner. And sure enough, Nikocado came around the corner, and it's rascal, and he says, "Oh, it's you."
I was a little nervous too because I haven't met many YouTubers. I kind of just do my thing in my apartment. I have my studio, whatever. And I'm not really going to events and stuff to meet other creators. And I was nervous. I was nervous to meet everybody.
And we had such an amazing day of just hanging.
This mukbang looks so deranged.
I got to meet him. He was the sweetest guy.
Why are we eating chicken nuggets with a pitchfork?
Online. Couldn't have been sweeter. Maybe he feels differently about the cartoon, but it seemed like he, I don't know, enjoyed it or got that it wasn't supposed to be spiteful by any means, but...
I'm someone that takes offense to...
Like, what is that? Is that a shovel? Look at what they're eating. What the fuck?
Very little. Very, very little. Especially online. If you're trashing me online, or well, he never trashed me, but if you're poking fun at my weight, why would I take offense to you talking about something I did? Why would I get offended by you talking or reacting or giving commentary on something that I put out there first of my own body? Most times I acted offended on the internet. It was for dramatic, it was for comedic relief. You can't say poor me, people are talking about my weight. If you...
I'm like, what's the comedic relief? It was just watching someone have a meltdown. Like, I enjoy Nick now rather than that because that content was miserable to watch. Like, I don't understand the comedic value in it, but humor is subjective.
grab a camera, film your weight.
I loved how you said camera.
Web. And people do this a lot on the internet. It's kind of like my way of teasing them.
I don't know, enjoyed it or got that it wasn't supposed to be spiteful by any means, but we did like a mukbang together with me, Oompa, and him. And the recording of it is so funny, but if you guys could have seen the behind the scenes, I don't know if there's any behind the scenes stuff. It was so funny. It was so much fun. That dude's farts smell rancid. It was disgusting.
Oop, I have to fart. Brace! Brace! On! Brace! No, don't fart! Brace! Brace!
I was really upset with myself in that collaboration because I told him, I like go into the whole spiel like I'm a method actor, but he knew, and I did tell him like I'm a performance artist. I just told him that I want to be in character for this video. He's like, okay, cool, we'll sit there and eat and we'll follow your lead. Well, I couldn't contain myself from laughing because those were real farts and I was like aiming it toward him and I wanted to like get it on him. I'm like, this would make such really funny content. But I didn't have the chance to like get to know him for a couple days and get a sense of him. It was just like, boom, here he is. Let's film a mukbang. It'll be great. It was embarrassing and funny and I couldn't contain myself and I lost the script, right? And I almost didn't post that collab, you guys. Can you believe it? I was so mad. I was mad at myself. I'm like, I do this.
Okay. I never watched any of this content, and I'm very glad I didn't. This, to me, is just... Oof. Yes, I want to watch this mukbang where nikocado avocado continuously farts on this person. Yes, that is the top of my watch list. I will be prioritizing that first. Ooh.
All the time. I've done this in front of other people. I've been on stage, but I think because I was physically actually farting on this man 2 inches from his nose, like his nostrils, because I stood up, his chair was there. My butt was 2 inches from his face. I could not contain I'm like, I've never done this to someone. And I just bet he's going to be traumatized. He's going to make a video. I'm glad I posted the video because people seem to really get a kick out of seeing me laugh it off. And they're like, oh my God, he's having fun with it, right?
Don't know how you're 2 steps ahead. The 2 steps ahead thing I think is really funny. I laughed pretty hard when I saw that. You gained 250 pounds and you're rage baiting people, acting like you're 2 steps ahead of what? I don't understand. I'm not watching Queen's Gambit. I don't know what kind of chess game you're playing. But
so I did not go into detail when I met him. I did not sit him down like, hi, nice to meet you. Let me just spew out my whole story. So it totally makes sense as to why he's saying this.
But it also seems like he's saying this 2 steps ahead thing in general to the public seems stupid because, like, again, you only did this to yourself, so I completely understand what he's saying. It's like, I think Nick's just trying to, like, do the performance art thing and be like, maybe I should have told him behind the scenes and maybe I would have given him more lore. But I'm like, no, to the rest of us, like, yeah, it's shocking seeing you lose all this weight, but this 2 steps ahead thing, I'm like, first of all, you were telling the audience the entire time you were losing the weight. They just didn't believe you. So I'm like, okay, you got us. You got us so good.
That's not something you say to someone when you first meet them because I barely know him. Like, I mean, I met him. He was really nice. I just literally said I'm acting and embellishing. And he got that, but I did not tell him I was going to lose weight. I did not tell him
You told the internet for years.
I did not tell him I always wanted to gain weight, even when I was like sub 200. I didn't really tell him much of anything because I just met him. But yeah, you know, maybe he'll see now on my other channel. I was recording vlogs of my journey, gaining the weight, talking about losing the weight, talking about developing a character back before even COVID happened. And I'm putting them on my main channel at the same time I put this out, so go look. So, yeah.
And I am so happy for the guy. It's unbelievable, especially getting to meet him once. I'm not trying to be under the impression that we talk all the time or anything like that, but couldn't be happier for the guy. When I met him, he was the sweetest guy ever. And to see him fully transform in this way, the amount of work, dedication that would take, even if it was a bit, would be insane. Curious to see what's next. You know, a lot of people have made content about Nick and this whole situation before. I mean, tons of documentaries. I mean, he's been on television.
I mean, people are like, I'm so happy for you. And I'm like, what? That he purposely gained weight and then purposely lost it? I'm like, what? Okay. I must just be a fucking hater or severely unimpressed because it's not that impressive to me. Like, you had a plan and you did it. Obviously, it's so hard to gain a bunch of weight and so hard to lose a bunch of weight. But I'm like, this isn't something that's revolutionary to me because you knew what you were doing the entire time. Or maybe I'm completely wrong and I should be fucking floored. about this. Oh my God.
Drama with him over the years, which you'd have to assume part of it is fabricated or if it's a part of some kind of plan. But I think it's interesting to see how people respond to this, of how somebody can portray themselves as this lunatic online. I mean, does anyone remember the sleep apnea thumbnails? Those are some of my favorite thumbnails.
And you know, I got so much hate for it, and I didn't even care. You're disrespecting people who are disabled. You're mocking people. No, I'm not. Look at me. I'm 400 pounds. How about...
Yeah, but you said this was a joke to you, so you did this so that you could get to that stage and have to utilize these things so it would be part of the joke. And this is people's day-to-day life. That's the problem I have with this. Sorry to be nitpicking. Sorry. I know everyone is finding this funny and loving it, but fuck me. I'm sorry. I'm seeing some cracks in it.
Mocking fat people. I am fat. How are you mocking someone with CPAP? I have a CPAP. I have sleep apnea. Like, and even if I didn't, who freaking cares? I mean, let people talk about whatever they want to talk about. You are allowed to impersonate anybody. You're allowed to tell jokes. You're allowed to assume new characters. If people get offended, that's their own problem. Like, it never bothered me clearly, which is why I kept doing it. But I live for these. These I want plastered in frames. It was exciting for me. There's always going to be people that don't like what you do, but comedy will offend anybody. Actually, anybody will offend anybody.
Like, that's just what I'm shocked about. Like, this is what he chose to do in the comedy sphere.
You take the nicest person on the face of the planet, they're going to have haters. They're going to have people that criticize. Even if they donated $10 million to build people houses in Africa, they're going to be like, but you filmed it. You did it for brownie points. You don't really
Little Mr. Beast shout out there.
care about the people needing houses. You know, there's always going to be that pushback.
It was so unhinged. But now, just because he lost the weight, they're like, he fooled us. I just don't understand how I was fooled. How was I fooled? Just because you lose weight doesn't mean that you got one over on us.
Because I gained it on purpose.
But it's... Okay, I love the original video in this because I completely agree. Nick, the only person you fooled was yourself. You wasted your entire 20s when you could have been doing things you actually fucking loved. You literally said in these videos that you thought you were going to die. You were miserable. You couldn't breathe and all like this. You got us in the sense that you only played yourself here. You made a lot of money and you got fame out of it, which is great. But it makes me really sad when you talk about your love for violin and your talent in violin, that was not an avenue you went down, and instead it was this. Sorry for being a hater.
Since I started all of this.
This is my hope for the future. He starts off with this innocent act again, and then he starts introducing just a little bit more of the crazy again.
What if it's a repeating cycle?
Well, that's what I was saying, is it could be a repeating cycle of, does he do it all over again? And is that the social
That in Colombia, I remember I was watching my 600-pound life saying, I want my chin to be double the size. That was like 7 years ago. 7 years ago. And yet in that clip, I was acting sad about my weight. I was like, oh my God, how did I get so fat? Oh my God, look at my chin. I feel so sad. I don't know how this is happening. And look at the comments under that video. You should look at your diet. You're delusional. You need to exercise more. Oh my gosh, this person, he has a low IQ. He's so stupid. Now everyone's gonna go, I always knew. I always knew. Most people did not. Most people thought I was lost and confused.
Look at the side-by-side. You think it was? I don't know. It's a crazy thing to say that you're fatter than nikocado avocado, but I would say 90% of us are now. So rejoice in that fun feeling of maybe this will motivate more people to get in shape or do something like that as well, because hell is officially frozen over, I think, to some people. But just a quick thought thing.
And again, just want to say to anyone, don't compare yourself to nikocado losing all this weight. He is literally a millionaire, and I can only assume has a lot of money and has so many more resources than we do, and does not work a regular work life like most people do, so has time and money.
Maybe this will inspire people to...
This is what pisses me off about it. I hate him going on this full, like, I want to inspire other people to lose weight, because, like, you literally gained the weight to make fun of those people, and you put a lot of work into losing the weight, but it's very different. It's very different. That's what pisses me off about this.
If I could do it, maybe you will too. Sometimes you never know what it is that gives people that push. A lot of times people don't want to hear it from their friends and family, but it takes a stranger on the internet to inspire you the most. So,
Oh my God, there's a part fucking 4. All right, we'll watch that another day. But anyways, I just want to leave this here. I love hearing his insight. I find him very fascinating, but I'm just not that impressed. But I love hearing the insight. Let me know your opinion. We'll talk about this down below. I appreciate you being here. Tour tickets down below. Second channel down below. Have a great night and goodbye.